The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised. Miltus frickin' today, militiamen. My name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing another Transformers Legacy review, that being the Transformers Legacy Evolutions Voyager class, Dirge. Now before we get into the review, let's take a quick look at the packaging. On the front we have a nice render of Dirge in his vehicle mode, his name of course, and the Legacy Evolutions trades, which I don't know why this figure's an evolution figure, because it doesn't really evolve or have any evolving gimmicks. On the side here we have the Transformers trades, as well as the Generations and Takara Tomy logos. Transformers Evolution trades at the top again, as well as some tech specs. On this side here we have the new version of the Transformers Legacy artwork, which I do quite enjoy. On the side here we have Dirge's mugshot, as well as his name, presumably in Cybertronian. I don't know, I don't speak that language. Down there we have an image of Dirge looking quite menacing, and that's about it. And on the back here we have a picture of the figure itself and some legal jargon on the bottom of the box. I said in every single review, folks, you only really care about the box if you're a carded or box collector, of which I am not. I'm here to review toys, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame.
Okay, that'll probably do it. Let's get this stuff out of here before something stupid and terrible happens. I'm something stupid and terrible. Oh wait, that backfired.
Freeze frame on freeze, and here is Dirge. Before we take a look at him, let's take a look at his accessories. And they are very simple, of course. They are just his dual null rays that every Seeker has. It's, a tradition at this point. There's a little bit of, molded detail in there to kind of emulate that weapon that we've all come to know over the years. You can just plug those onto the sides of Dirge's arms, and he can have them pointed, out to the sides or something like that. And he can aim those, as we've come to know. But getting on to Dirge himself, getting in close here to some of the nice details we see on the figure. He is almost a spitting image of his G1 self, even using a darker shade of silver on his face to kind of emulate that darker black face that Dirge had. And of course he has a cone head, so he has the, faux nose of the plane as a helmet, which is, of course, fun. You do have some nice gold and red details going on the intakes there. Going down some more purple and red details, as well as Decepticon logos, of course, on either side, and of course they are on the back as well, but we'll show those off more during the vehicle mode analysis. As for Dirge's articulation, we do actually have a ball joint at the head, which is pleasantly surprising, as I grew up on the classics Seeker mold, and we didn't have a ball jointed head on that figure. It was just a swivel, so it's nice to have a ball joint proper. Now, his 4-inch motion at the arms, they can go all the way out, as well as 360 degrees around, although this wing bit is going to hinder quite a bit, even though, it can do what it's supposed to. I have an upper bicep cut, as well as an elbow bend, which is pretty good. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately, but there is a hinge there for the transformation. Nothing at the waist at all, which is unfortunate, but you do have a pinned hinge joint, so you can get a kick about that far forward, pretty abysmally backwards, and about that far out. You do have, though, an upper thigh cut, even though it's kind of hard to see. It does swivel there. You do also have a knee bend, which goes about 90 degrees, as well as an ankle pivot, and a little bit of toe articulation just because of the transformation. So overall, kind of crap articulation, if I'm being honest. Subpar for any kind of Transformers figure, especially a Legacy figure, but bringing in some figures in for a comparison. Here we have Dirge next to a little Lego minifigure, such as Batman. Here he is next to our previous Transformers review, Legacy Evolutions Bombshell. And here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime, so you can see how he scales to another Voyager. Let's move on so I can show you exactly how this guy transforms. Freeze frame.
Alert! Alert! Autobots, assemble at once!
Freeze frame on freeze. So the first thing you'll want to do to get the transformation started is just remove the null rays. I know a lot of people will decry parts forming, but honestly, we've had to remove these null rays from the arms since 2006. It's nothing that I'm not used to, and nor should you at this point. Next thing you're going to want to do is crack open the chest so we can start working on the upper body assembly. Next thing you're going to want to do is come around to the side here and start to hinge up the actual proper nose of the plane to go over the cone head. Then you can lift out this entire assembly, which will lift on that arm right there. Lift that out. And once it's out properly, you can then spin it around. And then this finger will fit into that groove and stick into place like so. Next, you can come back around to the arms, and you'll see a little pin there on the forearm. Just crack that open, and you can see there is another arm connecting the forearm to the bicep. All you're going to want to do is start to press that in. Once you do that, start to close this door right here and lift up on the hand to open this hole here. Inside of this hole, the little square peg will go. And once you get it all closed up properly, like so, you can fold up the hand onto the top of the assembly and just collapse it in. Do the same thing on the other side, is open that up, collapse that in, flip up the hand so that that square peg goes into that square hole, close that up properly, flip up the hand, and then rotate the arm in. After that, you can close up the chest assembly, and it'll click there, signifying that you're done, and move on to the legs. First thing you're going to want to do here is just flip open these panels that I showed you earlier. Flip them open, and then you can connect the legs together. Once you do that, you can collapse the thighs into the calves, and then come up to the top here, straighten out the wings so that they're out of the way. As you can see, there are 2 tabs there and 2 holes in the back section of the jet's body. Just connect those like so, and then you can close up the jet engines. Once you're done there, just close up those panels the best you can. And finally, take these wings up here, and I know in pretty much every instruction manual or every transformation, these wings for all the cone heads are accentuated differently. Everyone has a different way of doing it. The instructions tell you to just keep them right up like that and just press them in once you're transforming the figure. And that's what I tend to do as well. And so now that everything is flush, you can come back around to the bottom of the jet, take the null rays, and you're going to attach them into these ports right here. One on that side, one on that side, and there is Dirge in his jet mode. Now this, I know, is absolutely fantastic. For all the complaints that this Earthrise mold for the Seekers gets, I personally think that this Dirge vehicle mode looks really good. I have no faults with it. It looks completely accurate, except for, the engines back here, the afterburners, but that, of course, you do have a faux cockpit in there. No pilot or anything, but you can see a tiny little sculpted seat. Going alongside there, you got the Decepticon logo, as well as tiny little rivets and stuff that are sculpted in there to the panel lining. Very nice, of course, cable on the bottom, but we can move past that. And that is pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Bringing in some comparisons here, we have Dirge next to a little Lego minifigure such as Batman. And here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime, just to get you a sort of idea of how they scale together. As you can see, Dirge is quite a bit larger, as he should be. Prime should really be smaller than this, but we don't have to get too caught up on chug scale scaling, because that is a whole different ballgame, and I do not want to start that fight once I get into it. But enough about the politics of scaling. Let's get on to my final thoughts so I can tell you exactly what I think about this figure. Freeze frame.
Before time began, there was the cube.
Freeze frame unfreeze. So overall, this figure is really just okay. I know a lot of people have issues with the Earthrise Seeker mold as a whole, and I absolutely understand those qualms. I can even see a little bit of mold slippage myself with the way these knees lock. This little square peg here absolutely despises plugging into that hole. It just does not like to stay whatsoever. But personally, to me, you can fix those problems, but it's the other tiny little things that really piss me off. For instance, the face, even though they tried, isn't the proper shade for Dirge. Dirge's face should match the chassis of the Jet, which is black. The articulation of this figure is just, let's face it, crap. I've reviewed multiple Transformers figures in a row that have really good articulation, or at least, basic articulation. This one absolutely falls flat on its face with the articulation. It completely shits the bed, and it's only held together by some nice rich navy blue paint for the fuselage. I don't think anything else really supplements the worthwhile buying of this figure, especially right now since we don't know if Ramjet or Thrust are getting re-releases themselves. Seeing that Dirge was part of that Ramjet 2-pack, I would hope that they are. I want the rest of the Coneheads. Personally, I like the Coneheads more than I like the big 3 Seekers. So it would be nice to see those, but right now there is no news of those on the horizon, and we are just left with this figure, which, truthfully, if you were anywhere near Target around the holidays, peg-warmed to hell. This was definitely not the figure I would have preferred to have had to stock the shelves during that time, but it did, and that sucks because we know that no one is buying this, and that does not bode well for those other 2 Conehead Seekers. But if you can look past that, or you like the Coneheads, or you like Dirge, or you like the Decepticons, Transformers in general, make sure you share this video with your friends, share it with the Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. It keeps helping the channel grow, it keeps helping me pump out this content. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.